So just to give you a background, generally the OPT end date is September 30th, but there has been some controversy as to what should the H1B start date be? Can it be October 1st? Or can you also put a later start date beyond October 1st? So last year, or actually the year before, we had a lot of issues with H1s because a lot of H1s were actually um, being filed after October 1st because because of this H1B registration process, uh, everything went out of whack. So there were 3 lotteries that were held, and the recent lottery was held this year. So in that case, it makes no sense to put a backdated start date of October 1st. So it becomes backdated. So then the start date has to be after October 1st. And then when that start date was put in the past, because the case was filed in November, say, because it was picked under the second lottery, not under the first lottery. So you had another 3 months to file your H1. So in that situation, actually H1s got denied, some of the H1s. And then there was a hue and cry about it. And the stakeholders, companies, attorneys brought it to the attention of USCIS, and there was a lawsuit basically because USCIS doesn't listen to anything unless they're forced to. So USCIS then went back on its policy and agreed that H1s for cap cases can have a start date of beyond October 1st. It doesn't have to be exactly October 1st. It could be November, December, January, whatever it might be, as long as you're not filing the petition more than 6 months ahead. So when this was happening, then that OPT start date, the OPT end date is then September 30th. And so what happens between September 30th and then if October 1st is not the start date, then what happens to that person's status? So because of these issues, the H1B employment, the DSO in such an instance may request a data fix in the SEVIS record. So remember, because SEVIS has to be updated at any cost. So they can ask the SEVIS record to be updated, and there can be a data fix in it whereby the OPT is then extended for the period of the start date of the H1. So that's called a data fix. So it is possible. The DSO has to request that after going to the SEVIS website by contacting the SEVIS help desk.